the following presentation of the National Football League.
One of the great symbols of the greatest country in the land, in the world, the United States of America. Pleasant day today, all overcast, a little bit humid. Atlanta won the toss, chose to defer, so the Titans will get it. Let's check in downstairs for the first time today with our main man, Tony Sirigusa.
Thank you, Tom. Two things that the Titans need to do today. One is they need to find a way to stop Devontae Freeman from igniting this offense. This guy's on fire. Something no other team has done so far this year. Two, they need to do whatever it takes to go and protect their young quarterback, Zach Mettenberger. The offensive line has given up 20 sacks and way too many hits on the quarterback this year. And it's going to be a tough task for, they got a rookie, Andy Gallick, in there, getting his first start of the year. I'm expecting this Atlanta defense to change their character and be super aggressive, especially in early downs. They're going to go, they threaten that middle of the offensive line. Let's see what happens.
We're going to find out right from the get-go. We mentioned Atlanta actually won the toss and will get the football to begin the second half. Bishop Stanky waiting back on the kick from Bosher and through the back of the end zone and out to the 20-yard line. And here is Zach Mettenberger, a sixth-round pick a year ago out of LSU. Spent the first 7 weeks of last year as a backup. And then in week 8, got his first of 6 consecutive NFL starts. In early December, injured his shoulder in a loss to the Giants and did not play the rest of the year.
A guy that probably would have been a little bit higher draft pick had he not been hurt late in his last year at LSU. A knee injury he had to battle back from. The top receivers like him, the wide receivers really worked a lot with him. They expect to be fully involved today.
So no Mariota today. They will hand it off on first down to Dexter McCluskey. And he picks up close to 3 on first down, and some of the starters, and there are changes. We mentioned center. After the injury 1 week ago to Brian Schwenke, it will be Gallick at center. And no Harry Douglas today, the one-time Atlanta Falcon out with a injury.
Had a chance to talk with him in pregame. It's actually killing him. He can't go today against his former team. As he said to me, he said, you know I have to really be hurt to not play him this one day.
Douglas had 7 very good seasons with Atlanta. Mettenberger his first look. And right on the money, although short of a first down to the third-year Tennessee volunteer Justin Hunter. A lot of changes from the Falcon defense from a season ago.
Almost unrecognizable with Vic Beasley, the rookie defensive end. He's expected to provide pass rush. At linebacker, Paul Warlow is just a tackling machine. And in the secondary, Desmond Trufant doesn't get tested very often, and it's a good reason. He's an excellent corner.
So the third down and 3, opening possession of the game. Mettenberger, a short throw, and that'll be a third down conversion on the quick hitter to Dexter McCluskey. So a good start for Tennessee.
An excellent start, and Tony talked about struggles of the offensive line. So how do you help an offensive line that's struggling to protect a quarterback? Get the ball off his hands quickly. Look at that. Quick gun snap, 1 step, ball off his hands to McCluskey coming out of the backfield. Initial first down of the game for the Titans.
So an early third down conversion, their first try of the afternoon, first down at the 34-yard line. Green Beckham in motion, they'll go back to the ground. And a good pickup. Strong running by Antonio Andrews out of nearby Western Kentucky University.
Well, this is how you help an offensive line that's struggling get better. Look over here to the left side. That's Byron Bell, 76. Taylor Wan, 77. The rookie center, Andy Gallick, getting up to the second level to the linebacker Warlow to block him and creating a nice crease in there for Antonio Andrews, number 26.
Grew up on the other side of the Kentucky-Tennessee border, did Andrews. In fact, he was Mr. Football in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Although not heavily recruited by the quote-unquote big boys, had an outstanding career at Western. And they'll give it to him again. able to pick up a couple of yards after the initial hit by O'Brien Schofield.
You know, that defense for the Atlanta Falcons needs to identify the depth of Andrews. I mean, he's 8 yards deep in the backfield. That means, you know, to me, 100% run. They got to go and test that and communicate up front and identify that.
And you're talking about that depth, why it's 100% run, because what else can you do from back there, right, Tony?
Absolutely. You can't do anything. You can't get in the route. You can't go and help in protection.
Sixth play in the drive, second down and 9. Good protection and nowhere near the intended target, Delaney Walker.
That felt like an amped up throw. You know, Zach Ettenberger getting his opportunity again, excited about the chance. He took most of the snaps this week in practice, trying to get ready. And he sees a nice target there from Delaney Walker, and the big strong arm guy just airmailed it a little bit. Fortunate enough for him, no one else in the area. It falls harmless to the ground.
In his 6 games last year, Mettenberg hit on 60% of his passes. He threw 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Third down's a problem thus far for the Titans. And this is third down and 9. Miscommunication there. Green Beckham was wide open and never turned around to look for the ball.
One of the things they've talked about in Tennessee is that real Green Beckham, you'll see him here, number 17 in blue, running his rep. As you noted, Tom, the ball's already past him before he gets his head around. So what they're worried about with him as a rookie, not overloading him with too many things, how much is he assimilating into the playbook. On that play, wasn't connected with his quarterback.
He's going to have to play a lot today without Harry Douglas. I mean, they are down to a total of 3 guys that have played receiver this entire year. They're catching the 11-yard line by Weems. And when we come back, get a look at this high-octane Atlanta offense.
Game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide.
Matt Ryan, first-round pick, 3rd overall, going all the way back to 2008 inside the Dome, Charles. He has been incredible, not quite as successful outdoors.
Yeah, you always, you know, it's always to go on the road, but boy, that's quite a disparity at 42-15. Just let you know that inside those great conditions, most quarterbacks are going to be better in those circumstances.
And in fairness, I said outdoors. They, of course, will play games in their division in New Orleans, but also year in and year out, a dome here, a dome there, but by and large, most of the time, subject to conditions. They're not a factor, at least so far today. First down, first possession, scoreless game. This is Devontae Freeman. Holy Moses, did he take a whack? Wesley Woodyard. Woodyard just put into the starting lineup 2 weeks ago. Up front, they're hoping this group can continue to get better and better. And when you talk about weapons, when you have that duo, Charles talked about Freeman and Jones, and we'll see if Matty White starts to get a little bit more involved. He had first touchdown last week.
And they brought the running back in, Tevin Holman, and split Devontae Freeman into the slot.
Freeman, their second leading receiver, and he's up to the 19-yard line. It'll bring up third down. Keep an eye on 99. Good player, Jarrell Casey.
One of the best second-team All-Pro in 2013. Woodyard, we talked about him. He's the captain every year he's been in the NFL. And in the secondary, Jason McCourty, they're awfully glad to have him back on the corner.
And Sensible is replacing Harris Cox. And Michael Griffin out with an injury. Is replaced by Damian Stafford at strong safety. Third down, Ryan finds Julio Jones. Breaks one tackle, nearly another, a first down up to the 42-yard line. Jones feeling healthy after being troubled by a hamstring injury, a gain of 21.
Played through both of them. They kept thinking each week maybe he couldn't go, and he answered the bell. And people talk about what a tough time he had last time out against New Orleans. He caught 6 passes for 93 yards.
Yep.
Most people like to have that type of a tough night, but the same explosiveness that they're used to seeing from him wasn't there. They think after this little mini break they've gotten with the 10 days between games, you're going to see the old Julio Jones.
Well, he has the third most receptions in the NFL. He's second only in yards to DeAndre Hopkins. And here's Devontae Freeman up to the 43-yard line. I mean, when you start the way Jones started, sooner or later, you're going to come back down to earth. He was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Month in September. 34 receptions for nearly 450 yards in the first 3 games.
He set an NFL record, not just for the season, an NFL record in the first 3 games. 34 catches, 140 yards, 4 touchdowns. If you level off a little bit, you're still doing pretty well.
Second down, and this is the rookie of Indiana, Tevin Coleman. Nice play made by Derek Morgan. We check for the first time a game break with Kurt.
All right, Jameis Winston's first pass of the day. A successful one. Mike Evans, his first touchdown catch of the year. 40 yards, and they're up 7-0 on Washington. Tom Deuce.
Charles, you saw a lot of college football the last number of years. I'll get back to you in a second on third down, but we'll be interested to hear your thoughts on Jameis Winston. A win today, Tampa Bay 3-3. You had a chance to see Marcus Mariota a lot as well. Third down. Ryan crossing pattern to Jones. Good tackling. Laid across the middle of the field by Zach Brown, and the Falcons will punt it.
An excellent coverage by Tennessee because they made Julio Jones running a shallow cross route. They made him check down to him. There was no other option anywhere downfield because of the coverage. And then you noted, Tom, a terrific tackle by Zach Brown because Julio Jones, his yards after catch, very impressive. He couldn't break through that tackle though.
Titans have a nice group of linebackers when they have everybody healthy, with the addition of Brian Orakpo to go along with Derek Morgan, Woodyard, Zach Brown, Avery Williams. It's a very athletic group. That was nearly blocked. And a thick catch handled at the 13-yard line by McCluskey. 7:17 to play in the opening quarter. Scoreless in Nashville.
This game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Last Sunday, late hit, low hit on the left knee by Miami's Olivier Vernon. He was fined over $37,000 for that hit, Charles. It prevents Mariota from playing today.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate for him. And people look at Marcus Mariota and you see a laid-back persona, one of the greatest kids you'll ever meet. I'm telling you, that's some competitor. Because in college, he had a very similar injury. Never missed a game. Played through it. So you know that Tennessee is doing a great job today of really protecting him from himself. If he had a chance to be out there, he'd be running out there with his team right now.
Look, let's be honest about it. Frequently it's a big gain on first down, and he gets Antonio Andrews. He had a 17-yard run the first session, and this one goes for 16 more. But getting back to Mariota, we hear so much the negative that's out there, but Charles, we had a chance to spend a lot of time around this young man, and I know you could not have come away more impressed.
I'll make it very quick for you, Tom. You know how everybody says when you meet a young man that you really like, I'd love him to marry my daughter. That's like the highest praise. I'd like him to be my son. That's how much I think of Marcus Mariota as a person.
Well, they lay it off to Delaney Walker. That is read beautifully by Justin Duran, who's playing for the first time in 3 weeks. He's been out with an elbow injury. Second down and 9 coming up for the Titans.
Have you guys noticed already that this Titans offensive line seems a little more aggressive? I think they are a team. I think this is a unit they've gotten kicked around in the media, right? Their quarterback's getting hit a lot. Tony talked about the 20 sacks they've given up and all the other hits. And Taylor Lewan exemplifies a chippy attitude that I think that they're bringing to the field today. They are very upset that their quarterback's not playing, and they feel that it's on them.
A little delay to McCluskey, and he's able to avoid one tackle across the 35. It'll come third down, and depending on spot, 4, it looks like, for Tennessee.
Tony, did you ever run into that a little bit with some of those offensive lines that have been maligned a little, that they want to come out and show a little different side?
Yeah, you know, offensive linemen, all the players, they read the papers and they see, where the pressure is, and the coach is ripping you a little bit. And, you got to come out there and prove yourself. And, I think with the new guy that they got there at center, and they count here, and I think they are more aggressive than I've seen them on from last week. You're right, Charles.
They're going to throw. I don't third down, and Mettenberger escaping trouble. And he had a wide open Kendall Wright and slightly overthrew him. Oh, goodness. Miss, big one.
Now, how about the improved mobility of Zach Mettenberger, though? He's supposed to be a statue back there. The scouting report coming out of college, heavy-footed guy, couldn't move very well. He's worked hard on it. Look at him climb the pocket, finds it, and just misses a wide-open Kendall Wright.
You know, I'm really surprised about that defensive line. I mean, they have not changed what they've done over the last 6 weeks with not bringing any kind of pressure. Only bringing 4 guys up front. That offensive line's going to gain some confidence so that they don't want to happen.
Only 7 sacks this entire year for the Atlanta Falcons. That punted out of bounds will wait on the spot. So the sights, the Capitol, Parthenon, the Hermitage. That's Charles' stomping ground when he comes into town.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Dodge and by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Atlanta football, scoreless game. With better than 5 minutes to play here in the opening stanza. Matt Ryan to throw it on first down. Jacob Timmy becoming a much more active part of this Atlanta offense from the tight end position on the catch. Short of a first down, but an 8-yard gain on first down.
Tom, you know the injuries in the secondary of Tennessee. Michael Griffin, their leader in the safety position, is out. He's replaced by Damian Stafford, number 39. Stafford is much better in run support than he is in pass defense downfield. I'll be eager to see if Tennessee tries to take him out of that and keep the horse in the box safety.
Second down 2, they're going to take a big shot. And they're thrown to Julio Jones, who was open right at midfield. So a third down, you know, it's funny, you come into a game, and Charles, Tony, we were talking about this. Look, the numbers don't lie. Atlanta, the #1 rushing team in the NFL per game. Tennessee, only 3 teams in the league have been worse against the run. Yet here you are in first and second down for the Falcons, and you're throwing the football.
Sometimes you want to change things up early, hoping that the team will loosen it up a little bit before you come back to your bread and butter. And in past years, this was definitely a throwing down for Atlanta the last 2 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
They could run ball here on third down.
Play clock down to 2. Just to get it off, they're going to throw it on third and 2. And Ryan gets it away, and the ball is incomplete. It's hard to figure, man. You've got a great run football team and a bad run defense, and it is throwing out all in the air for the Falcons.
Look at the pressure on Matt Ryan. They got a nice push inside, did the Tennessee Titans. Right up the gut in his face. Excellent job by the Titans getting the pressure on him, and then Cody Sensabaugh helping break up the pass downfield.
One thing the Titans have done well is play defense this year. The 19th three out. They have forced this year. That's the 4th most in all the National Football League. That will dribble out of Browns, and the Titans will get the football in a scoreless game when we return. First year Atlanta offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan talking things over with his quarterback Matt Ryan after a 3 and out. No score, 4:23 to play the opening quarter. Titans won their first game of this season. Incredible NFL debut by Mariota. And they've since lost 4 in a row. Looking for the long ball and getting turned around. And then dropping the ball is Justin Hunter.
And unfortunately for Justin Hunter, that typifies the career he's had. He'll be here in the slot. And what they get is the play action downfield, and they play the strengths of Mettenberger, which is the deep ball. He actually underthrows it. Hunter makes the nice adjustment on it and doesn't haul it in. An excellent big play opportunity goes by the wayside by a lack of concentration by Justin Hunter.
Hunter was a second-round pick, the 34th overall pick going back to 2013. He's not even reached 50 career catches yet. That'll be a gain of 3 on second down.
Taylor Lewan, elected captain, 2nd year in the league. And you know, as we talked about, he's tired of hearing about how bad things have been for their offensive line. First round pick last year, put a chippy attitude with it, had it at Michigan, well earned. He's the guy who wants to finish it. He wants to finish off a play. And if you want to go a little bit longer, he'll do that. He does not care about the whistle. He cares about the echo of the whistle. He wants to go all the way through a play.
Need to get just beyond the 30-yard line on this third down. We'll call it 7. Good protection. And McCluster will be denied first down yard, so another 3 and out. Warlow and William Moore converging on the tackle.
That was one of those good plays, meaning good by the offensive line protection. They've held up very well in the early going. But how about the rallying to the football by the Atlanta defense? Made him check it down, throw it short. Everybody got to the football, made the tackles. They couldn't get upfield for the first down. But Zach Mettenberger, they may have missed one big shot downfield. Don't think there aren't a few more coming.
That Warlow has been a very nice sign. I say sign because he was undrafted coming out of Delaware 2 years ago and has delivered over 300 tackles in about 2.5 years. '70 years young, born and raised in London, Ohio, is Dick LeBeau. 57 consecutive seasons in the NFL. 14 as a player, 43 as coach. His first season with the Tennessee Titans. First down carry and a good one for Devontae Freeman. He's up to the 34-yard line. Where's LeBeau? Was cut by the Cleveland Browns before being signed by the Detroit Lions. Great career. Began his coaching career, many seasons with the Bengals, including a head coaching spot. Last 11 years a defensive coordinator with the Steelers and inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And remember, he's a Hall of Fame for what he does as a player.
Yes.
See, most of this generation thinking of as a coach. No, as a player. Oops, by the Browns cutting him as a player. They could have used him.
What's very interesting about that whole story is there's a catch by Roddy White, a first down across midfield. LeBeau was a two-way player at Ohio State University, and they won the national championship in 1957. Paul Brown, of course, was the coach at Ohio State prior to Woody Hayes. Brown went on to coach the Cleveland Browns. Paul Brown was the one who cut him and then hired him to start his coaching career years later after founding the Bengals.
That's called give back.
Yes.
Or that's called makeup. I'm sorry. No, I'm bad, right? I'll hook you up now.
Exactly.
Devontae Freeman cuts it back to the inside. That'll be a gain of 4. And let's go back to Los Angeles and check in again with Kurt.
Well, Coach Dick LeBeau won't like this. Miami against Houston. Jarvis Landry catches it on one side of the field and then basically crosses everybody who's in a Houston uniform. Take all the way for a 50-yard score, his first of the year. Dolphins under Dan Campbell up 14-0 over the Texans. Tom, Charles, and Goose.
Kurt, those Oklahoma drills must really be working each and every week for the Miami Dolphins.
Back to the ground and back to Freeman. And another big gain as he's inside the 40. There is a penalty flag down. This might come back.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Check out.
That's a former Titan, Andy Levitre.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills, 2-year starter with the Tennessee Titans before being traded right at the start of the season. In that interim between the last preseason game and the opener, Levitre comes over. He was not going to be a starter with the Tennessee Titans. He had lost his job. The Falcons trade for him, plug him in immediately, and they're very excited about having him. They think that he's actually helped settle and start to solidify an offensive line that they've had to cobble together here late in the process.
A timeout called with a play clock down to 8. And we're down to the final 19 seconds of this opening quarter. Now, granted, you're talking about not even 15 minutes into the game. But, you know, Charles, when you're the Atlanta Falcons and you're 5-1 and you're playing a team that's really down, they've lost 4 in a row, they've had tough games, they were humiliated by that Miami club a week ago. They've lost 8 in a row here at home. This is the kind of team you want to jump on, and at least through a quarter, Tennessee's doing a few things better than we've seen over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I was able to watch Tennessee practice earlier this week, and they were a little more spirited in practice than I believe they had been. A little more contact, right? They're a little more physical, trying to reestablish themselves and get their mojo going. And 2 weeks in a row, Atlanta's playing a team with their back to the wall. Last week it was New Orleans.
Ryan flushed out of the pocket, lofts it into the arms of Roddy White. And there's another penalty flag down right about where Ryan threw the pass. Was being chased by Derek Morgan.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, low hit, number 91 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And that's who committed the penalty.
For just last week, it was a low hit, Olivier Vernon on Tennessee's quarterback, Marcus Mariota, and that's why he's not playing today. And there's Morgan with the low hit on Ryan. The fans are going to react on this, but you know that after Mariota's injury last week, that went through the league office, and I'll guarantee everyone heard about it. Get careful with these quarterbacks and the low hits.
Yeah, but you know what? On that particular play, his eyes were down. He didn't see Ryan go and get rid of that ball. I don't agree with that last call, guys.
End of the opening quarter. Scoreless. Fox NFL Sunday continues after a word from your local Fox station.
See Matt Ryan getting out of the pocket here. This was the penalty that called against Derek Morgan, the pass rusher. Ball was gone, and he comes up there. This is Jarrell Casey, who was just elected captain. They just named permanent captains this week, the Tennessee Titans. He's asking for an explanation from the umpire on that one. The umpire, Fred Bryan, what's the story? What happens here? And Tony, is a defensive lineman, that's got to be frustrating.
I would have loved to hear that explanation because, as a defensive lineman, when you're chasing a quarterback or even a running back, whatever, you're looking to go and at some point throw your body, leave your feet, and try to go and make the tackle so they can't get the first down. Exactly what happened on that play. His eyes were down at the ground. It wasn't an intentional thing, but you can't stop guys trying to make plays now.
I think the
horrible call.
The hardest part for a defender, especially with these quarterbacks, is do they ever become runners? I mean, he's outside of the pocket, right? He could have very easily been a runner taking the ball downfield. And when you're trying to make a play, you're not going to see that ball leave his hands. But
great point.
I'm firmly convinced that last week, guys, because of Mariota's injury, I'm firmly convinced that the officials have gotten word, too, to make sure you're protecting these quarterbacks.
I'm almost wondering if they have this flag up. The ball was at the 27-yard line. That was after forcing a 15-yard penalty. We're going to get an explanation.
Foul on the play for roughing the passer. The passer was outside the tackle box. Therefore, low hit protection does not apply. It will be third down and 2.
So there you have it.
They listened to us, guys. They heard us.
And what I like about that, and this officiating crew led by Brad Allen, they got together, figured it out, and got it right. They had an opportunity to correct it, and they did. Well done by them.
Well, now they're going to have to figure out where they are in down and distance because the official just said third down and 2. But that's not where the sticks are sitting right now. So it's going to take a minute to get all this together. After the penalty, they had moved the ball to the 27-yard line from the 4-2. Crowd getting a little impatient, but the bottom line is they want to get it right, and they did a nice job, as we just mentioned, by picking up the flag. So now they need to dot the I and cross the T, and we'll move on.
Yeah, the patience, really, they rewarded because they got it right for their Tennessee home team. And here we are again seeing it. Matt Ryan feeling the rush, trying to escape. Derek Morgan, their best pass rusher, chasing him. Roddy White with the catch and then taking it out of bounds over the line, over the the sideline.
Well, now going to spot the ball at the 41-yard line. 3rd and 3 is what it should be.
And it looks like they've about got it now.
Well, let's hope so. Although those guys on the far side of the field, I think lost their confidence.
3rd and 2 from the 41. There is no foul for roughing the pass. 3rd down.
Because they're going in the wrong direction.
They're going in the wrong direction over there. Okay, hold it. Now they got it. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. Remember, they did not put the ball on 3rd and short last time. Falcons elected to, they did not run it. They elected to run it. Let's see what they do here.
Play fake to Freeman. They throw it. Not even close. So here you have the #1 rushing team in the NFL. This was the first drive. They started to give the ball to Freeman. Had a couple of nice runs. But a second straight 3rd down and 3 or less. 2 passes incomplete.
And Casey brings
and they're going
pressure.
for it. They're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they've got good field position. They like what their defense has done early. And Dan Quinn taking a shot right now.
They are 7 of 8 on 4th down so far this season. And they're going to throw it again. And it's broken up by McCourty on the quick slant to Roddy White.
This is tremendous coverage by Jason McCourty. This is what they're missing the first 3 games of the year. Watch him with Julio Jones just steps right into the slant, right at the upfield arm, and is taking that play. Look at him. He's playing right through the upfield shoulder, Julio Jones, to knock the ball away. If you want to put a train reel together on how to play that route, that shot right there should be on it.
I know, Charles, I brought it up already a couple of times. I am just, Tony, maybe you feel different. I am just stunned. I think you've made a decision that you might go for it 4th down and you have a 3rd and 2, and you're averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
Surprised you didn't run it on 3rd. Maybe they didn't make that decision. Maybe the decision wasn't made until that play ended and Dan Quinn had a feel. Sometimes the head coach just says, hold it a second, I'm feeling it, let's go for it. So sometimes they don't have that in their back pocket where they knew on 3rd down.
And look, all I'm bringing up is what probably every Atlanta fan is bringing up, because they have been that good running the football.
And they had a nice drive going, being able to move it. The offensive line starting to move things. They had 1 penalty with Levitri, the offensive lineman, that hurt them a little bit. But overall, they were starting to move the offensive line pretty well.
Going to get 3 on 1st down to bring up 2nd down and 7. Back to the hands of Antonio Andrews. And he plows forward, stays on his feet. Across midfield and a 1st down to the Atlanta 48-yard line. Things are heating up here. They're heating up in Gotham. And one thing's for sure. You give someone a flamethrower, you'll get a whole new supervillain. Gotham, Rise of the Villains. A whole new episode tomorrow right here on Fox.
How about Michael Chiklis in there? Played the commissioner one time on TV. Wow. He was in the Fantastic Four. His Big Ben is the rock guy. Now he's in Gotham. Man likes the superheroes and supervillains.
Real start for Antonio Andrews. 43 yards rushing on 5 carries. And now the big one down the sideline and incomplete. An eye on Kendall Wright, their leading receiver. And that's wide receiver Delaney Walker. Their tight end leads the team in receptions.
I'll tell you what, I am so surprised at this Falcons defense of not bringing any pressure whatsoever. They have yet to bring 5 guys. Look at the 4 guys on line of scrimmage. Look at the time that Mettenberger has in the pocket. There's no pressure whatsoever. This guy is known to have a strong arm. That's his forte. You got to go and bring pressure early in this game, and we have not seen it here into the 2nd quarter.
And that was a primary focal point after the game against New Orleans. Of course, applying pressure to the quarterback has been an issue for the Falcons for a number of years. The last 5 years, only 1 team fewer sacks in the league. Last year, the 4 years prior to that, 28th, 29th, 19th, 20th.
If you were going to pick a game, if you were going to pick a game to go and take some chances, this would be it. Rookie center, offensive line that's struggling right now. The Tennessee Titans offensive line is dominating the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 7. Mettenberger steps up. He's going to run it. And a penalty flag all the way in the backfield. Mettenberger looks at about a yard short.
And on that rush, they got the pressure they've been looking for, Tony. They finally got it, even though it was a 4-man. finally got into the quarterback's face.
Yeah, had some games on the outside.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
And if you're not getting pressure as a defensive line, you got to move. And that's exactly what they did on this. They rushed 4 guys, but watch. The tackles are up. The ends are up underneath. They're moving. That's what you need to do.
Excellent rush there. That was Jonathan Aspino, number 95, that drew the holding call against Chance Warmack. Number 70, the mammoth offensive guard, former first-round pick for the Tennessee Titans.
Warmack grew up in Atlanta, went to Westlake High School, where he was a teammate of Cam Newton.
I think that's a pretty good team.
Not bad.
Just guessing.
Third down and 17. Anthony Fasano to the 49-yard line, and after that big penalty, the Titans will punt. I bet you they'd have gone for first down and a yard a moment ago.
Right. Yeah, if it stayed a yard, I think they would have too. And Tony, you've been asking for that pressure and maybe something a little bit different.
They brought the 5th guy in this one.
They brought the 5th guy, and it was William Moore,
yep.
the safety, number 25.
And you see how much less time he had in the pocket there. That's what they need to bring more often.
See, they were able to bring the pressure, got the ball off his hands quickly, and then rallied up and made the tackle and forced the punt.
End over end punt by Brett Kern. A fair catch at the 10-yard line by Weems. So here we are, 11:31 to play until halftime. Which team will get going first?
Today's game sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. And by Domino's. Order online and track your order.
Scoreless game, Atlanta with a football, starting the drive just outside its own 10-yard line. Matt Ryan is hit on 6 out of 10, 72 yards. Devontae Freeman, 4-3-26, trying to add it out here, and will. Boy, look at the cuts and the zigs and the zags up to the 21-yard line. Very close to another first down it is.
And I think they're going to get the Atlanta offensive line involved now. And what I mean by that is, okay, guys, we've struggled a little bit moving the ball. What do we say? We say we fire out a little bit. There's a blocking scheme, meaning they're either going to take a step to the right or take a step to their left and keep moving that way and block whatever shows in their path and let Devontae Freeman read what's there and find his way. He did that quite successfully on first down.
Freeman was not the starter the first 2 games of the year. That was a rookie, Kevin Coleman. And in the second game of the year, Coleman suffered a rib injury. Well, that's all the opening Devontae Freeman needed. 9 rushing touchdowns, second leading rusher in the league. He's had another 300 receiving yards. And how about this company? Jim Brown and Eric Dickerson. Most rushing touchdowns in the first games, 6 of them in a season at 23 or younger.
When you start talking that kind of rarefied air, grab an oxygen tank and hold on. And this kid is playing with a fury and a joy that's just unbridled.
There's only one team that has as many rushing touchdowns as Freeman does individually. The Bengals have 9. Freeman has 9, and that's a first down up to 32-yard line. And
then you add a touchdown catch by him to give him 10 little touchdowns for the day. But about that last catch there by Julio Jones, no difference was between that one and when McCourty broke up. Julio Jones was able to body and weigh that time. Use that big frame of his. Julio Jones at 6'3", 220. Worked against Jason McCourty, 6'1", 193. He boxed him away like it was a basketball play. Kept him away from the basket, grabbed the ball.
High formation, play action. Ryan down the middle of the field. Appeared to be underthrown, and it's incomplete.
Julio Jones working in the middle. There, he's supposed to, he has to go low to try and catch it. Tries to get the arms underneath. Ball goes clearly through and hits the ground. Is it just me, guys, or is Matt Ryan just a little bit off early in this game with some of the throws? Because that's an open target there that he normally hits.
He doesn't feel comfortable right now.
Jones looks hurt. He appears to be favoring that left hand, left arm. Ryan hit as he throws. What a catch, one-handed grab by Freeman. Penalty flag is down in the secondary. I think this is going to be against Tennessee.
Holding. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's Cody Sensabaugh, and instead of third down at 5, it's an automatic first down.
Take a look at Sensabaugh. So he's there in the slot, working his Williams number 15. 5-yard rule about having your hands on a receiver. That one felt a lot like just fighting each other.
Call that every down pretty
right. Atlanta the beneficiary on that one.
Closing in on 9 minutes to go in the second quarter from Nashville, Tennessee. Ryan looking for Roddy White, or it's Freeman, I beg your pardon. 24 out of the backfield down the sideline.
And they got the matchup they wanted. You're getting Devontae Freeman right here. And here comes Woodyard, 59, who's coming over to cover. As soon as Matt Ryan recognizes that, that's a shot you have to take. You've got it. Go ahead and launch it down there. They were unable to connect, but every advantage on that play was in Atlanta's favor.
Devontae going to get a quick breather as Coleman checked into the backfield on second down and 10. McWilliams in motion. And batted into the air. And it is intercepted. How about that turnaround? David Bass in his third season. Just picked up off waivers from Chicago.
Closest to you on the line of scrimmage. 51 in blue, unblocked because they were trying to just go a quick pass to Kevin Coleman on the screen. So they got what they wanted was David Bass coming to the quarterback. But Matt Ryan wasn't able to loft it over. Bass tips it in the air and brings it down to himself. Came into the game. You ready for this? 1 tackle on the season, 2 tackles in special teams plays. And how about that play for the Tennessee Titans, who I think are gaining in confidence as it goes on.
No question. All right, so now, first legitimate scoring opportunity for our team. Inside the red zone. Mettenberger steps up, delivers, touchdown, Tennessee! Kendall Wright. And now penalty flags litter the field. Extra pushing and shoving and jawing going on back at the original line of scrimmage.
How about that clean pocket, though, for Zach Mettenberger to step into and fire again. Totally clear sight line for him. And the right wins downfield. Touchdown Titans.
Brad Allen, our referee. Big interception by Bass. One play later, the touchdown strike. Mettenberger's first of the year.
I think they're checking to make sure, every scoring play is reviewable in the NFL. They're checking to make sure it's a touchdown is what I believe Brad Allen, the official, is waiting for before he makes his final call.
That knee goes down, but where's the ball when the knee hits the ground?
There's Ricardo Allen making the tackle,
Tony.
Tony.
The field of a touchdown is confirmed. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 70 of the offense, Haunting. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
And again, that's Chance Warmack. Second time he's picked up a penalty so far today. But for these Titans, during this 4-game losing streak, we mentioned they've had a couple of tough ones. Leads they let get away late. Especially that Indianapolis game. Boy, that was a killer loss. But they were overwhelmed a week ago by Miami.
And they're playing as if their pride was really stung, and they're trying to get it back.
Up one of the few kickers in the league who is perfect on field goals and point after touchdown. Interception. Hand in hand. Points off the turnover. 7-0 Titans.
So just a few moments ago, after the interception, Julio Jones coming over, wanted to talk with Matt Ryan about what they're doing on offense. Kyle Shanahan to Matt Ryan's left, your right, the offensive coordinator. He's on the surface tablet drawing some stuff up. When you're the quarterback, you get advice from all areas, don't you?
You sure do. Weems out across the 30 has always been one of the more dangerous returners in all the NFL and across the 35-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
So we got Kendall Wright is going to be in the slot right here. But watch the pass protection and the ability for Zach Mettenberger to step up in the pocket and fire. See that hole right there? It's a pretty clean pocket that he's into. And Kendall Wright running on the crossing route into the middle of the field because Mettenberger can see so easily. He's able to rifle one in there. Jimmy Johnson in our pregame show talked about Mettenberger, that they thought maybe he might be their franchise guy. He's getting another opportunity today due to the injury to Marcus Mariota.
First down, and they'll put it in the hands of Devontae Freeman. Penalty flag comes in as he's dropped after a gain of 4.
Could be another hold on Atlanta.
It is.
Guys, quick update on the weather down here on the field. It's just starting to rain. So this surface got a little bit slippery.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jake Matthews, their #1 pick from a season ago. You know, this entire offensive line, even leading up to the season opener, underwent incredible change. Forget all the change during the offseason.
Yeah, you're talking about Mike Person. Was he going to play guard or center? He ain't settling in at center. Levitri came in from Tennessee to start at guard right away. Jake Matthews coming back from injury, the #1 pick at left tackle. Chris Chester, they picked up in the offseason at right guard, and Ron Schrader, the right tackle, has been around, now full-time starter.
Freeman a first down carry. That'll be a gain of 4, and we will check in for the first time with our buddy Mike Kill back in Los Angeles. Hi, Mike.
All right, guys, Saints making some noise against the Colts. How about Drew Brees, Michael Ho-O-Manawanui? Yeah, first TD since 2013. Saints missed the point. They're up 20-0. Colts just continuing like that name right there.
Hey, Mike, you got to say that name one more time. We've got coming up again. We got to get back to Mike on that.
I'd help him with that. It's Michael Manawanui. Remember we had him in Illinois back in the day. And back in Illinois, they called him and that was it.
Second down and a short gain. 4-5 Tennessee defenders swarm around Julio Jones.
It's almost like Julio Jones is the only wide receiver out there that Matt Ryan's looking at today, guys.
And if those are the routes that he's going to be involved in, the Tennessee Titans are going to be very happy to let him run those.
Yeah.
He's a big, strong receiver. We know that. But if you're going to run underneath, you should be able to get 2 or 3 tackles to him, and that's advantage Tennessee. They've got to find a way to push it downfield a little bit more. Then Kyle Shanahan will continue to try and move Julio Jones the spots he lands up in to try and shake him free a little bit better.
It's third down and long for Ryan and the Falcons. All day to throw and right on the money. Catch is made by Nick Williams, and that's the Falcons' first down. Atlanta needed that.
Yeah, well, they got protection up front. Matt was able to stay in that pocket and look for other receivers downfield.
There's that clean pocket you're talking about, Tony. Excellent protection by the Atlanta offensive line, and Williams running the route downfield. Because there's all that time, notice how he finds the open spot. You saw where he hooked up first? That really wasn't open. Because the offensive line gave Matt Ryan so much time, Nick Williams moved a little bit to his left, presented himself as a target, and Matt Ryan found it.
3 tight ends, Freeman in the backfield. They fake it to him, and now Ryan drops it off to Tony Moeaki. Here's another name from our days in the Big Ten country there, Mr. Davis, out of Iowa, Moeaki.
Yes, the big fella coming in. Remember, he started the Kansas City Chiefs and was playing pretty well there, but injuries dinging him up. Yep. And Scott Pioli is the assistant GM here in Atlanta now. He was responsible for bringing Tony Moeaki to Kansas City. Knew what he had to offer, brings him here to Atlanta. It's a nice catch there.
5:20 to go. Atlanta on the move at the Tennessee 42. Freeman trying to bounce it to the outside, then strong running. Another first down to the 31-yard line. You know, a lot of people wonder, where did this, Freeman come from? Grew up in Miami.
Florida State guy. Jack of all trades. He can do everything. And on that play, you know what he exhibited the most? Vision. Absolute vision. Great play by Devonta Freeman, seeing where the opening was.
Give it to him again. And read beautifully. Penalty flag comes down. You almost wonder, did Morgan get a hold of the face mask? That was a good, clean tackle. But that might be the case.
I think you might have spotted it there, Eagle Eye.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Angelo Blackston.
I'm surprised they stayed with the run. They had 9 guys in the box on that last play, guys.
Yeah, normally when you get that box count and you get up to 8 in the box, it's almost automatically going to throwing the football, isn't it?
Yeah, now you can't block them all. So, usually you go and you opt out of that, but Matt Ryan stayed with it.
You guys made that observation a moment ago that Jones appears to be the only receiver they're throwing the ball to. They're going with all 3 tight end sets now. That's Freeman out of the backfield. That'll be a need of 8. Second down and 2.
I like what they did on the last play. They spread everybody out. They put Freeman outside. They still have to play the run a little bit. But they went. I like how they spread everybody out, open that offense up a little bit, and looking downfield. That defense, remember, able to look downfield.
Remember when their top 2 targets were Julio Jones and Roddy White? It's Julio Jones and Devonta Freeman.
Freeman picks his way to another first down.
I got to give Freeman a little credit here. Playing this game a long time, standing here in the end zone, watching him run. The closest guy I see make cuts like this guy is Barry Sanders. And when you talk in the same sentence as a running back with a guy like Barry Sanders, who I think is the best running back ever to play the game, this kid Freeman is really impressing me down here.
Timeout, Matt Ryan. We'll take timeout as well. Atlanta trying to tie this thing up down inside the 20.
Game is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Like a little stroll and all the great music along Broadway in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Falcons trying to make noise for the first time today. Trail 7-0 from the 16. Ryan to the end zone. And batted away by Stafford in coverage of Tammy.
Tremendous coverage.
It's a really good play by Stafford. This is not his strong suit. It's being isolated out wide. And this route by Jacob Tammy, this is a route that we really think a Jimmy Graham or a Gronk run. Jacob Tammy is a tight end, got the coverage that they wanted, which is smaller defensive back on him. Terrific play by Stafford playing the ball through the arms of Jacob Tammy.
Ninth play of this drive. That's the first incompleted pass on this drive by Matt Ryan. 4 out of 5 on it. Nice combination of throwing the ball and running the ball on this drive for Atlanta. Trying to tie this one up. The delay to Freeman. Tackle just inside the 10. Third down and 3. Maybe 2.5.
Faking the pass. Matt Ryan actually struggled controlling the football. Did you see that? Ball was bobbled a little bit on the fake, and he was able to get it to Freeman, and then Freeman running with abandon again for a tackle by 3 Tennessee Titans.
The Falcons did not fumble the football their first 5 games of this season, 4 games. And now the last couple weeks, Charles, for the first time all year, they've turned the ball over. Matt Ryan, a couple of interceptions. That was against Washington. And then they had, the botched snap. They had fumbles, 5 of them last week, losing 3 of the 5. And, that's pretty much a mantra all year long, even going to training camp of Dan Quinn, always walking around with a football.
Yeah, and Dan Quinn, coming from Seattle with Pete Carroll, the #1 thing they say in Seattle, it's all about the ball.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn Quinn has brought that here to Atlanta. You talk about walking around the football, anyone who can knock it out of the coach's hands or anyone else who has it. It's almost like a movie, but the football's put the key down.
Into the end zone, but unable to get the feet down. Julio Jones. It looks like Jason McCourty is injured in the end zone.
Remember, he missed the first 3 games of the year with a groin injury. Bunch formation by Atlanta. He's trying to cover stumbles. Trying to cover Julio Jones, who's unable to come down with it inbounds as he lays out. Terrific effort by Julio Jones. But they're saying he didn't get his feet down. He's clearly out of bounds on the catch.
Well, we certainly hope that McCourty's going to be all right. We'll take a timeout while they check on him. Jason McCourty was able to get up and walk off the field. Appeared to be all right. We'll certainly bring you an update if we get one. It'll be a 27-yard field goal try by Matt Bryant. Josh Harris will snap it. Bosher will hold it. And the field goal by Bryant is good. 2:31 to play, and Dan Quinn's team down 7-3. First time Marcus Mariota has not started in his very young NFL career. And Charles, I want to ask you about something a little bit later on. Mettenberger made a total of 6 starts last year. He was a rookie. We are always talking about how much time a young man needs to develop to become a quarterback in this league. And boy, you better be good right now sort of crowd in theory. And it's almost as though Mettenberger, and I'm not going to say they've given up on him, but clearly they made a decision to go get somebody else. And yet he's only made and played in 6 NFL games. Look at his numbers compared to Mariota through roughly the same number of games and passing attempts.
Yeah, and that was the tough one because many of the Titan players really like Zach Mettenberger. Receivers really like him, like working with him. But I think the Titans organization looked at it as we might have a chance to get something really special. And when you have that chance, you don't turn it down. And Marcus Mariota fit that bill.
Well, they got plenty of time now to try to get down the field. That is Delaney Walker. And he's out across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, I would dare say if Mariota's not available at 2, Zach Mettenberger, they would have rolled with him and not tried to get even another quarterback.
2:10 to play until halftime. Need a throw. McCluster out of the backfield will pick up the first down to the 30-yard line. It stops the clock with 2:05 to play.
You know, down here, guys, just looking at Mettenberger, tell you what, a lot more confident in the pocket. He has a lot of confidence in that offensive line and in himself right now to look downfield. That's a direct derivative of Atlanta going and giving him that confidence.
2-minute warning. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. All right, first down, 2 minutes to play until halftime, and Tennessee with a 7-3 lead over the Atlanta Falcons. Mettenberger making just his 7th NFL start. First down completion up to 45-yard line to Kendall Wright, and the Titans will quickly get to the line of scrimmage. Titans have 2 timeouts remaining. Perfect throw to Delaney Walker. That is another first down. A gain of 13 to the Atlanta 41.
Offense is very crisp, isn't it? Moving with dispatch right now. Zach Mettenberger in an excellent rhythm.
4-man rush. Mettenberger. Oh, boy. Wide open at the 25-yard line. Did that go right through the hands or right, or was it slightly overthrown?
That's what we're going to find out, because that's the first thing that went through my head was, did he just get altitude? No, that just went right through. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't stick between the 1 and the 3.
That was the first time he had a little pressure on him right there with 4 guys rushing.
And he delivered it, put it right on the receiver, and he caught him perfectly because he's moving as he catches it. So he's catching that ball and still on the move. A really nice throw by Mettenberger.
And that is a fastball when it comes out of his right hand.
No doubt.
Mettenberger, the escapes trouble. McCluster, another first down to the 30-yard line. Continues to run. 1:05 to play until halftime.
I'm seeing the continued maturation of Zach Mettenberger, not just as a player, but in what he's done in the offseason and become more agile. Do you see how he stepped away and made that play?
Once more, McCluster's safety valve spins out of a couple of tackles, and he's down to the 17-yard line. They may spend time out here. Yep, timeout Tennessee. 45 seconds remaining after the 15-yard gain.
Back-to-back plays, Tom and Tony. Zach Mettenberger showing the value of his offseason workouts. He started them at LSU. I wish we had a picture of him when he first got to LSU. A little doughy, a little soft, big, heavy-footed kid, and he worked every year on diet, conditioning, agility, and you can see the benefits of it. The footwork has gotten better, and he's this pressure. Excellent job.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, Jimmy. Tell you what's going on. The NFL's best offense taking on the NFL's best defense. That's New England v. New York Jets. And Landry Jones get a start. His first NFL start today. Mettenberger heating up. Again, he has not played in an NFL game since week 8 of last year. Catch made and then falling out. Walker gets back up. Very close to another first down. Clock down to 33. They have one timeout left. They're not going to use it here.
And you see Delaney Walker, and this one time was a little inaccurate, and he knocked his receiver off his feet even though they completed it.
Mettenberger to the end zone. Incomplete. Dangerous throw there. That was Walker. And in coverage was Warlow standing right next to him.
Nice observation there, Tom, because if Warlow doesn't make that play, there's a good chance that turns into a touchdown because Warlow in the coverage is noted knock away a potential touchdown pass.
74 yards in 9 plays.
This team is rallying around Zach Mettenberger. You can see it. This offensive line, I see after plays, line is amped up. These guys have really come to play for him here in the first half.
Timeout. They did not want to do that, but that play clock all the way down to 3. Wanted to save that last one in case they had to stop the clock on a potential field goal trouble before the end of the half. The World Series begins day after tomorrow. Daniel Murphy and the incredible story of those amazing Mets in Kansas City. Royals here for the second year in a row. Game 1 coverage, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Special extended pregame coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Now, did I hear correctly that DeGrom, who's been the bomb, is not going game 1? Did I hear that correctly?
Matt Harvey will go game 1.
So, is there no pitch count in the World Series in the playoffs for Harvey? Apparently, so he can go. He's good to let it.
He's good to go.
The aide cleared it. It's good. They got it in writing.
Good.
Okay. Just
especially after that game 1 LCS he turned in.
Because he's sharp down now in the playoffs.
Yes.
He's been throwing it. I thought DeGrom was going. I guess it'd be Cueto on the other side.
It is. He throws and it's intercepted by Warlow to the 20. Warlow with the line to beat and run out of bounds. Penalty flag is down all the way at the other end of the field. 4 seconds remain. Andy Gallick, the rookie center, is slow to get up at the other end of the field.
And I think what's going to happen, Tom, is the block on Andy Gallick, as you noted, slow to get up. O'Brien Schofield, blindside shot. And I think that we're going to talk about defenseless guy. Okay, first we're going to see the interception. There's the pressure. Tony's been talking about it. They're pressure. They finally got it. Forced him into a bad throw.
During the return, there was personal foul for an illegal blindside block by number 50 of intercepting team. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed as part of the foul. It will be first down, Atlanta.
So you had a field goal try where he knocked off the block at the other end with 4 seconds left. Take a look at this. Mike Pereira, that's a no-brainer.
Yep, and they've been focusing on this for a long time now. The fact that it's blindside, you don't see it coming. You have to stay down below the neck area. If you get them with the forearm, the shoulder, the head, any part, you know, that's the type of thing that they're looking for, and that's the call that's going to be made.
That's how guys get really hurt.
Yeah, and Mike, that's part of going back to when that really became an emphasis, right, with the rules committee. Because those used to be the times on those change of possessions where guys really got waylaid and guys got really, got attaboy in the meeting rooms.
Yeah, they used to go after the quarterback.
Number one deal.
Basically said you can't go after anybody when it comes to a onside.
There you go.
And this has a chance to start getting ugly. I think Ken Wisenhunt is over there arguing that there was a face mask penalty as Mettenberger was trying to throw that ball that wound up being intercepted by Warlow. I mean, Wisenhunt is livid. Now you be the judge. Is this a face mask? Hands to the face?
It's all inside the helmet on the side. They look right there. And the head totally turns the other way. So that was missed on the interception.
All right, it's halftime. Fellas are standing by. Bert, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jim. Spin 3. Been a pretty good football game so far. And tempers certainly are rising in Atlanta. Falcons with the ball. When we return, today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Boy, a lot going on. The interception by Bass, leading to the touchdown throw. Mettenberger to Kendall Wright. And then near the end of the half, clearly a penalty should have been called. Hands to the face, an interception. A defensive player penalty took away points from Atlanta. A 7-3 game, and Charles, with one team at 1-4 and the other team at 5-1 coming in, it looks lopsided on paper. It's not been the story so far.
How about Atlanta 2 weeks in a row? They go into a buzzsaw. New Orleans had to have it. They've been playing poorly. Got run over by Philadelphia a week before. They played well and beat them. Then we come here this week. Tennessee got run over by Miami. Their pride's hurt. They've come out aggressive and ready to play.
Well, Atlanta will get the football from the 20-yard line to begin this second half. You remember they won the toss and chose to get it here in the second half. How about it, Tony Siragusa?
Well, I had a chance to talk to both coaches. First, Dick Quinn, I asked him, why no pressure? We got you guys down for one blitz in the first half. He says, we need to find a way, obviously, to get pressure, and we need to change things up in the second half. So I'm going to look for them to go and bring some pressure in the second half, because that's when the big plays are coming. Ken Wisenhunt, talked to him on the way coming out. He said, the biggest thing that I talked to my team about was when we have opportunities to make big plays, we need to capitalize. We can't have drop balls. This could have been a completely different game if we would have caught that ball. So.
Well, there are two plays you look at. The Kendall Wright play on the last drive, penalty flag is down. And the drop by Hunter, after initially getting turned around.
Offense number 67. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And you may not think much about it, Charles, but those are two very important plays when you look back on the body of work of the opening half.
I think a lot about it because this is a team that struggled to score points in recent weeks. Remember 40-14 season opener against the Tampa Bay? Thought, hey, you got offensive juggernaut. Last few weeks, they struggled to get to 14. So those are big plays to give you opportunity that you let go by the wayside.
Jason McCourty, he left the game with hamstring injury in the first half. Freeman bounced off a couple of tackles. Run out of bounds just beyond the 10. It'll bring up second down and long. Some numbers from the first half. Freeman averaged over 6 yards a carry. Ran it 10 times. That was his 11th.
See the first half stats, total yards pretty even. Passing pretty even. I think the story of the first half to me, though, was the intensity that Tennessee brought onto the field. Everything you didn't see last week against Miami, you're seeing by a factor of 10 this week by Tennessee.
Well put. Second down at 20, low snap. And Ryan just trying to get rid of the football before that turned into a disaster in the end zone.
That This felt to me like he thought maybe I'm close enough to the end zone that if I don't get rid of it, as you pointed out, Tom, that we could end up having a safety. Because he's got the pressure in his face coming at him, number 99, Jarrell Casey. He had to field the bad snap. First he goes shortstop, picks it up. Now he's got Casey, 99, who ends up in his face. He just wanted that ball gone to avoid the sack and the possible disaster near the end zone.
We were saying a bunch last week, but that was with James Doan in there at center. He was primarily a guard in his young career. And lay it off, and they'll just swarm to the football. As Tron Wood makes the reception, and the rookie is out of bounds. And it's a 3 and out on this first drive of the second half for Ryan and the Falcons.
And the Tennessee intensity has not let up after the half. You know, every coach talks about, uses one word, finish, right? When they talk to their teams, finish. Tennessee's trying their best to find a way to get one finish, because you pointed out earlier, Tom, they've let some leads get away in this young season.
Cluster comes up on it, signals for a fair catch at the 38-yard line.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Burger King. Kick a fall with a new Oreo pumpkin spike shake. By Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. And by Bank of America.
Powerhouse Brentwood Academy beating upon University Christian of Jacksonville, Florida here on Friday nights. 10-time Tennessee State champions. First down, Mettenberger. And going up to get it. That's a nice catch. Hunter dropped one earlier, but a nice reception there for a first down across midfield.
This is a great catch of redemption for Justin Hunter. That ball's thrown a little high and away, and he stays with it and stretches it out. His 6'4" in frame. A champion high jumper, long jumper, triple jumper at the University of Tennessee. He showed off his athleticism on that one.
Possession of second half for the Titans. Andrews looking for running room and just none there. Dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Ishmael. Now take a look at this. Senior night, your son Charles, and you guys are looking good. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations go to that's my son Parker.
Your wife must be beautiful, Charles.
She is.
No question about that, because you know it didn't come from me. Parker, very proud of you and your teammates. Congratulations to all those
quarterback,
seniors.
right?
Quarterback,
and getting ready for the big high school basketball season.
High school basketball season coming up now, and just proud of him and his teammates, all those seniors there at Windermere Prep. Great kids.
Awesome.
Blitz coming. You talked about Tony a moment ago.
Oh, my Lord.
They bring O'Brien Schofield, and he runs right through Mettenberger.
Well, that's the second that I've seen so far today.
Here he is.
Looks like they can be effective when they want to. You bring 5, they're bringing 6.
You know what happened, Tony, when they brought that 6th? Chance Womack stepped down inside, and the hole opened, and there was no one there to get Schofield.
Yeah, when you bring 5, you put every one of those offensive linemen on an island. You know, they all have to defend one guy, and one-on-one's a defensive line should win. You know, 4 on 5, 6 on 5. It just, you know, you need to bring the pressure. You can't let Mettenberger feel comfortable in the second half here. His arm is way too strong.
First step by either team today. Fasano, the tight end, back to midfield. And after a good start to this drive, second now a punt.
Look at this situational football here. Look at all the Falcons. But you know where they're playing? They're playing what? The first down stick. So they played it first down stick, which is there, played all the way deep, and said anything in front of that, have at it, guys, because we're getting the football. You're just not getting that stick. Situational football, understanding what's there. Falcons handled it very well.
Getting inside the 10 is Queens. This is a very short punt. And it will bounce out of bounds, perfectly done by Hearn. At the 11, call it the 12. Two-time Pro Bowl Matt Ryan, the younger Mettenberger, numbers pretty much a wash so far. Mettenberger, the game's only touchdown pass. It came to Kendall Wright after an interception by David Bass. And a throw down the middle, and that's Julio Jones to the 32-yard line. Gain of 19.
Since we just saw Julio Jones, how about the day that he's having? Remember the first 3 games of the year, 34 catches, 440 yards, 4 touchdowns. Since then, he's been slowed a little bit by hamstring, toe injury, and of course the increased scrutiny from the defense. Today, 5 catches, 58 yards. They've worked him a lot on the shorter, intermediate routes. Let's see if they can spring him downfield a little bit more as we go on.
Nick Williams, that'll be a gain of 8 on first down. Let's check in with Mike Hill back in Los Angeles.
All right, guys, Vikings and the Lions. And how about the rookie out of Maryland, Stephon Diggs? Inactive the first 3 weeks, but coming on strong. Big game last week. And how about this for his first career touchdown? Laying it out. 36 yards for the score. 22-17 Vikings in the third. Tom, Charles, back to you.
Looking forward to seeing them, Charles, a couple of weeks.
And Stephon Diggs came out of high school, one of the most talented kids going. Career of Maryland quite measure up. Looks like he's reignited.
Stuffed very close to the first down marker is Freeman. It looks like he's able to get there. They will move the chains.
You know, the run game of Atlanta, we've kind of wanted to see a little bit more out of it, I think. I think we would agree with that. But part of it has been when they've had some of these explosive runs, they've had penalties. Levitri's had a couple of penalties today. Jake Matthews got one that brought a play back. They've hurt themselves a little bit in running the football by some of their own doing.
In the hands of Freeman, breaks it to the outside. Got a nice block by Tammy, and that'll be a gain of 12.
How about that? Cut that up.
You know, you always hear about runners who get what's blocked. You know, that's all you're going to get, whatever's blocked. How about the ones that create extra blocks and opportunity? Because that play was stacked up fairly well by Tennessee at the line of scrimmage. But his move and his dip and vision actually brought Jacob Tammy a second block to get him to the corner.
13 rushes, 77 yards, just short of 6 yards per attempt. For Freeman, they'll give it to him again. And better than 6 yards here, that's a gain of 11.
I don't know about you guys, but I think you just keep giving it to him.
Yeah, I think they're starting to feel it. Watch here, point of attack. Okay, Levine Toyolo 70, Matthews 80, Matthews 70, Levitri 67. On that stretch play, they gave him a crease. And 97 there, Carl Klug unable to get his legs, and that got him right into the second and third levels of the defense. They're starting to heat up running the ball.
Freeman, 23 years old, grew up in Miami, played at a powerhouse program in high school. Quick slant to Jones. Did he ever have the football? No, it's incomplete. You know, Freeman played at the highest level, the big school division in Florida. Now we're talking big-time high school football.
Yes.
His team won the state championship. He was the MVP of the state championship game. He's ranked in the top 10 high school running backs in America. He goes Florida State. 3 years in a row, 1,000-yard rusher. Why would it be a surprise that he would be a good NFL back?
It's an interesting conundrum because he's got all the stats. With all that talent around at Florida State, I think some people thought maybe we'll get back to it after this flash.
That's made a beauty to Williams, and he's down to the 14-yard line. First down in Atlanta.
I think some people thought with all the talent around him that maybe it just helped him that much more, but we found he's a talent. Look at Nick Williams, and look at downfield, the clear out route by Roddy White at the top. 8-4. He cleared all the way downfield. People wonder, where's Roddy White? Sometimes you make plays we don't see where you don't catch the football. That was a play Roddy White cleared, took the defenders deep. Underneath Williams on the cut, Ryan finds him. Nice play without the football by Roddy White.
And you get McCourty chasing. He just left the game. Already by a hamstring injury. This is a rookie Coleman out of Indiana. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line.
Tom and Tony, you guys have seen for years Alex Gibbs run offense, right? If we see McCourty there, hope he's going to be okay. And we've seen it all the different places, whether it was Denver or Washington with Mike Shanahan, right? We're seeing that right now, aren't we? This is that style of zone blocking running game that Alex Gibbs made famous.
Yeah, the only thing you don't see is the cut on the backside. You know, Alex Gibbs, when I was with the Colts, he was with us, and he would make them offensive linemen go down to give that running back the crease and the cutback on the backside. A lot of the guys now are trying to stay up, which is good and healthy for players, but that's the only difference that I see. But it is the Alex Gibbs zone blocking up front.
Julio Jones tiptoes into the end zone, and that's a touchdown. The first of the day for Atlanta. And the Falcons have the lead for the first time today.
You think Julio likes his matchup? Look at him in the slot, then look who's covering him. That's Derek Morgan. Derek Morgan's an outside linebacker, but before Derek Morgan was an outside linebacker, he was a 4-3 defensive end. That's a heck of a transition to go from D-end, outside linebacker, oh, now I'm a nickel corner? That's a lot.
Well, the first 3 weeks of this season, Julio Jones a touchdown machine. He did not score in each of the last 3 games. And now the touchdown catch beating Morgan. And the Falcons jump in front.
This game is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
All right, for the first time today, the home team will be forced to play catch-up after an 88-yard drive put together by Ryan and the Falcons, capped off Ryan to Julio Jones for the touchdown and a 10-7 lead. He will bring it out of the end zone across the 20 and up to the 25-yard line. Julio Jones, his first touchdown in 4 weeks to give his team the lead. Zach Mettenberger make his first start since injuring his shoulder in early December last year to start against the Giants. First down, slightly underthrown, but a completion nonetheless. Up to the 31-yard line and gain 5 to Kendall Wright. Totally pressure, much more of it to begin this second half for Atlanta on defense.
Yeah, let me continue that, Tom, because you and I were right there in the same brain. Tony, did you give the halftime to Atlanta or something in terms of bringing more pressure?
No, but when I asked him the question, he just said, we got to change some things up here in the second half. And I know, being a defensive-minded coach, I knew he was going to go and change and bring a little bit more pressure.
Andrews back in the game. And, hey, you put the football in this man's, he is a strong, powerful runner. He is basically supplanted Sankey as a primary back.
Terrific inside runner. He's a real thumper. And look at the offensive line. They stretch it out. Atlanta looks like they've got pretty good push back there. Soliai on the inside had done that, but he extended it out and got to the perimeter and then carried a few people downfield. Antonio Andrews has become the lead runner for the Tennessee Titans. Bishop Sankey, last year's draft pick, hasn't touched the ball at all on offense today.
Andrews spent half of last year, his rookie year, on the practice squad. Able to get it away in time. A flag is down. How about that move by McCluster? Holy Moses, it might come back. But that was certainly worth watching.
Offense for 70. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So they got Chance Warmack again, number 70, for the hold, the right guard. He's working against Rashid Hageman, and you see Hageman gets around him, and he grabs the clock. But that move you were talking about, Tom,
man.
Even in slow motion, he's quick.
That's a pirouette right there, guys.
Look at that, turned into a whirling dervish.
And a swing and a miss by Durant. So first down and they'll get some back on the completed pass to Delaney Walker. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage. But it'll bring up second down and we'll call it 11.
I will say this about Atlanta, and I'm sure we've been discussing. Dan Quinn pretty much told his team this week through the media. Yeah, close has been good. We've been getting close, we're getting pressure, we've been getting hits. Close doesn't count. Right? Was the expression, only in horseshoes and hand grenades?
That's it.
He said, let's get people on the ground, get them off the spot, make them move. That's the next step for the Atlanta pressure.
When, of course, the last 2 seasons, defensive coordinator in Seattle. Blitz coming. And they tried to lay it off to Sankey, who I'm not sure ever saw the football. There was a lot of traffic around in there. But they're down at 11.
His is all-out pressure. Watch everybody coming, but watch Beasley in coverage of Sankey. He sees that Sankey's going out in the route, realizes and makes the redirection. A little bit of a hold there, but makes the redirection after Warlow gets the pressure in on Mettenberger. Well played by the rookie, Vic Beasley, out of Clemson.
Now, the last time we saw 3rd long, and we're going to see it again, there are 6 Falcon defenders lined up a yard in front of the first down marker. And McCluster unable to hang on, and it's time punt. It was a sack the last drive, a penalty this drive.
Here's the first down stick right there, and look at where everyone's playing. As noted, Tom, a yard in front of the first down marker. Situational football. Dan Quinn, Richard Smith, the defensive coordinator, have what you want in front of us, but you're not getting to the first down marker.
Of course, when you're 3rd down and 4 or 5, you can't do that kind of thing. No. 3rd and a ton because of penalties and sacks. Put your offense in a tough spot. And it will bounce right at the 2-yard line, and with 2:59 to play after a 41-yard punt by Kern. It's 10-7, Atlanta in front. Atlanta with a football from right at the 20-yard line. And Atlanta with a 10-7 lead on first down. Big chunks of yardage for Devontae Freeman. And he's all the way inside the 40, but there's a penalty flag all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Another major run. Looks like it's going to come back for Atlanta. I mean, they're wasting beautiful runs.
Illegal blocking back, number 84, offense. 10-yard penalty. First down on the previous spot.
I mean,
Roddy White can't believe it.
Let's take a look at Roddy White, 84. Not catching very many passes, going to block, and he did exactly what they said he did. Blocked him dead in the back.
Spot foul. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
And how about this run? We got a jump cut. We got a second jump cut. We got vision. We got a fake. Cuts back inside. Look at the eyes roving. The eyes taking the legs all the way downfield. This is a special young man, Devontae Freeman.
That's a 41-yard gain that is wiped out due to the penalty. 2:30 to play in the 3rd quarter. White will get a big chunk of it back up to the 25-yard line.
And this is nice for 2 reasons. 1, excellent chunk of yards for the Falcons. 2, you're bringing Roddy White right back into the game after the penalty. Remember, he's not catching a lot of footballs to begin with. Roddy White went 6 straight years as a 1,000-yard receiver. Those days are probably over.
Great concentration, too, on the tip ball at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. Good pick up.
White now 33 years old in his 11th season. Of course, he played collegiately in Alabama, Birmingham. There's Tevin Coleman, his best carry of the afternoon, and we send it to Los Angeles to kill.
All right, Jets in the past. Chris Ivory just 25 yards rushing on the day, but he can do other things like catch football out of the backfield. 9-yard catch for Ryan Fitzpatrick for the touchdown. His first CD catch of the season. Jets on top, 17-16 in the 3rd. Tom, back to you.
All right, Mike. But you know, you can't play running back in New Orleans without being able to catch the football. Sean Payton's offense. Chris Ivory brought those skills to New York.
There's the Patriots unbeaten. Playing on the home front. First down throw is incomplete. Now once again on Williams, who's had his best day of the year. He had a single catch in each of the first 6 games this year. He has 3 of them here today.
Had an interesting conversation with someone from the Falcons administration in pregame about Nick Williams, because you know all of his past has been as a kick returner, coming out of college, kick returner, punt returner. And they say that they think that he developed into a heck of a slot receiver. And we're seeing some of that development today.
Cutting it back to the inside again is Freeman, and he's a yard short of a first down. Going to be an interesting play call coming up here. We have seen 6 times in this game already today where the Falcons have been 3rd down or 4th down, 3 yards or less. They have thrown it every single time, and only twice have they converted.
Guys, I'm running the football here almost without exception. I'm thinking I'm running the ball here from the Falcons. I give it to Coleman and tell the offensive line, let's go.
Well, they're all timeout. First one taken in this half by...
Or even Freeman, because he's on the field now.
Tuesday night, the Fall Classic will begin. The World Series right here on Fox. A New York Mets. Who would have thunk it? Against the Royals, of course, they're already defending American League champions. Game 1 coverage begins 7:30 Eastern. Special extended pregame coverage 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Who do you got, Tom? Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Royals.
Really?
I am.
How about the way they closed out Game 6 to go to the World Series? 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and get out of the inning and close it out. That was impressive.
I go with the Mets. I just like their bats, man.
I love the reaching. It's hard to pick against either one of them. 3rd down. They're going to run it. And it looked like barely enough for a first down on the give to Freeman. Who do you like, Charles? You didn't make a pick.
I didn't make the pick. I'll go with the Mets. I grew up in New York.
All right.
But I'm really still saying go Pirates. Still a little bitter about that one-game wild card. But we'll move on. But that run there, guys, those are the type of runs you're going to need to get to the playoffs and win in the playoffs. You need your offensive line to fire out and hit people and pick up short yardage. That was a big run for them.
10-7 Atlanta. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Scoreless at the end of the open quarter. Tennessee getting a turnover, an interception by Bass. A touchdown strike to Kendall Wright. Atlanta kicking a field goal, and the only score in Atlanta touchdown in the 3rd quarter, and here we begin the 4th. Ryan, a dangerous throw. Mercy Morgan right there trying to defend Williams.
I'll tell you what, Freeman did a nice job on the backside. Not only can he run, he did a great job blocking on that play.
You mentioned him running, Tony. Here it is, Devontae Freeman. He's over 100 yards for the day. But we talked about the penalties that Atlanta has accrued during this game. Take those away on his runs. He's probably pushing 150, 175.
Again, you see 4 100-yard rushing games for Freeman this year. Remember, the first 2 games of the year, he did not start. So of his 5 starts so far this season, he has rushed for 100 or more in 4 of the 5.
And you saw the one game of 100 yards in 2013-14 combined. Steven Jackson, that last one that Atlanta had.
Yeah, but last time they had an outstanding run game was when Michael Turner first came over from San Diego. Right about the same time Mike Smith took over as head coach.
Matt Ryan's rookie year.
Yep. Went to the playoffs. Ryan's rookie year, didn't make it the 2nd year, made it the next 3. Jones limping around out there a little bit, it appears. They're down in 10. It's a big play at the feeling for the Titans on defense. They've lost some momentum. And it's broken up. Nice play in the secondary. Cody Rigg able to knock that one loose from Julio Jones.
And they brought pressure on the backside. They overloaded left side of the Atlanta offensive line. Ryan got the ball out of his hands, but Cody Riggs arrived at the perfect time to knock the ball away from Julio Jones. Nice play by the rookie, Cody Riggs.
Yeah, that secondary's been playing very well for the Titans.
Well, this is the #1 ranked passing defense in the NFL now.
And they're stepping for guys who are hurt, right?
Fewest number of attempts have been thrown by opposing quarterbacks because teams have run the ball so well against Tennessee. Oftentimes that can be misleading, where you rank defensively in a category of one kind or another. But the bottom line is when teams have tried to throw it, they've done a nice job defending.
And the punter went down hard on that one.
And no Boxer. And now there's shoving going on. Casey almost sent Weems to Memphis.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's still finger-licking good. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Chevrolet. Use hashtag #IDrive4 and we'll contribute $5 to fight breast cancer.
So this is what happens when you try and protect your punter. If you don't have enough to heft to deal with a Jarrell Casey, who's defensive tackle end. And Matt Bosher not happy at first, and now he realizes, oh, so it was you who knocked me over, my teammate Eric Weems. That's why there was no flag.
Yeah, you got to be at least over 200. Only 195. You got to put on a couple pounds.
Andrews bounces it to the outside on first down. He delivered a hit on Robert Alford. Mercy, mercy. Yes, Andrews comes to play now.
He brings some pop with him, doesn't he? There's Robert Alford at the end of the play. Don't go in half speed now. Because Antonio Andrews is a full stepper. That's what running back coaches like to call finishing runs. And he just made Sylvester Kroom, his running back coach, very happy with that one.
I mean, that was only, what, a 3-yard gain?
With some impact.
Chiropractor needed. Cutting it back to the inside is McCluster. He's across the 20 up to 23-yard line. Very close to a first down, maybe a yard short. And, you know, Charles, here we are in the fourth.
Yep.
Atlanta generally has been taking a lot of time off the clock on their drives here in the second half. They had the 88-yard drive for a touchdown. How many times are you going to get the ball? And not a lot of momentum offensively for the Titans in the second half.
We talked about all the intensity Tennessee brought to the game, right? They've been had it to start the second half. Atlanta has seized that from them. Vital that they had a good drive going here for the Titans.
It was third down at the foot. And I don't think they got a foot. That's not good.
Tom, I never want to contradict. They got a foot, just in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
A few feet.
They just went in the opposite way. Look at the guy up front and how they changed the line of scrimmage, Atlanta Falcons. See, the last scrimmage started in one spot, and the Falcons made it a yard behind where the ball was snapped. Dan Quinn is a defensive line coach by trade. You think that doesn't excite him even as a head coach? Probably especially as a head coach.
But both defenses have been very, very good. This will be the 11th punt. Atlanta should get pretty decent field position as Weems from the 30. Across 35 and up to the 38-yard line. Still on his feet, crossing the 40-yard line.
He had something to prove after got thrown into the punter. He's a little upset about that.
College football returns to FS1 Thursday. Big 12 showdown, West Virginia against number 4 TCU. Tremont, boy, can you see him?
Yeah, and he can sling it and he can run it. And West Virginia just got done dealing with Baylor not too long ago. Puts up big points. They'll get a similar team in TCU.
First down, Ryan had it tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Second down and 10. This is a kind of drive that, you know, Atlanta, you want to be, you brought up earlier, George, with a third down and a yard. You know, you got to get that yard if you want to win games going forward into the year. This is a kind of drive for all intents and purposes. You score a touchdown here, you're making life mighty tough.
Dan Quinn says it all the time. He wants a team that's fast, that's physical, and that finishes. This is that type of a drive.
They're going to throw it on second down. And that's Tammy across the 45. Dragged down to the 46-yard line. So it'll be, it's a gain of 4. Third down and 6.
Another good play by the linebackers of Tennessee. Zach Brown's ability to run. He just ran out there with Tam. He may have caught the ball, but there was no yard after the catch.
Yeah, Brown lost his starting job 2 weeks ago. He filled in for an injured Williamson a week ago. Had 14 tackles in the loss to Miami. It's a big play. There's under 11 minutes to go. Ryan lofts, caught, beautiful throw, and a catch by Timmy on first down.
Kyle Shanahan's got to get some credit for this one, guy, because he schemed this matchup for Jacob Tamme to make sure he could get him out on it. What he did was he brought Roddy White inside and brought Tamme from the line of scrimmage outside. It's kind of an alternate fade route, Tony Siragusa.
Yep.
Bring him inside, then you bring the guy you don't expect swinging out. Got the linebacker matchup well manipulated by Kyle Shanahan in the offense.
Roddy White did a nice job, a little rub there at the beginning to go and give him a little bit of advantage on that outside.
And at 24, they'll run it for the first time on this possession and tripped up his team into the 25. A gain of 5 on first down. 18 carries, now 19 of them. 107 yards for Freeman, averaging better than 5.5 yards per carry. The only game he has started that he did not run for 100 yards is in the blowout of Houston, where he scored 3 touchdowns, and they took him out in the third quarter.
He could tap out early in that one, no problem. They were up 42-0 in one grade.
Bottled up to the last scrimmage here. So once more, Tennessee, Dick LeBeau's defense needing a stop to try and force at the very minimum a field goal try for the Falcons, as we're under 9.5 to go.
That was well stacked up by the front of Tennessee. And you end up with Zach Brown, 55. I saw Bleedy Ray Wilson, the corner, come inside to try and help on that play.
Empty backfield. And now Williams comes from left side to the right side of formation. It's coming. And Ryan off his back foot just puts it in the air, and Jones will go and get it inside the 10.
I think 9 out of 9 times he's going to win that jump ball, guys.
And this is Jones here. He's just going to go down, and Ryan has told him, just as soon as you turn, be ready for the football. And what he counted on was the superior athleticism and ball skills of Julio Jones winning the play at the end, and that's exactly what happened.
Seventh catch of the day. It is first and goal, Atlanta at the Tennessee 8. Freeman looking for an opening and slips inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
You know, the element that's been added to Matt Ryan's game with the new offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, is movement. Matt Ryan being able to bootleg out, right, get to the corner a little bit more. Not that you run him on a lot of quarterback run plays, but if they want to fake it inside and boot him out and throw the ball, he's got that in his arsenal now.
They play the drive. There you go. Rolls to right. Catch is made, but looks like Jones is short. Or is he? Officials looking at one another. No signal given yet. And you're saying he's run out of bounds. The half-yard line.
Just a little short sprint pass by Matt Ryan. Gets it. How's that not a touchdown?
Yeah, I think it's going to be ruled.
It's going to be soon.
Yeah, it looks like the ball breaks the plane right over the pylon.
I'm Atlanta. I want them to take a good hard look at this one. I'm absolutely surprised.
Yeah, there's a challenge flag.
Oh, okay.
Coach Quinn runs all the way down to the goal line. Coach Quinn needs some oxygen.
Atlanta is challenging the ruling on the field of short of the line to gain.
Bounce challenge. We'll be back.
Today's game sponsored by Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL.
So this is what they're going to be looking at. Did Julio Jones stay in bounds and cross the plane of the goal line? There's the catch. He's going out. You see the ball going, and you see his foot right on the sideline, and you see the ball moving and goes across the pylon. But the question is going to be, is that foot in bounds or not? If we take a good look here, I see some toe into the white of the sideline, but did the ball cross before the toe came down on the sideline? That's what our officials are trying to determine. Our replay officials, Jim Lapatina and Jim Pearson.
It seems that they're going to go and move the ball, have to move the ball up because the ball was closer to the goal line. Worst case scenario for them.
At the end of the day, Mike Pereira, you talk all the time about how you really have to have convincing evidence to overturn the call on the field. How do you see it?
Well, it's kind of one of these where they have two decisions that they have to make. You know, they have to decide whether or not it's a catch and then whether or not the toe, the ball broke the plane. Again, ruling that the ball was short
Ruling
and
on the
not a
field
touchdown
stand.
and a catch.
Ball is out of bounds at the 6-inch mark. Atlanta is charged, second timeout, and their first challenge.
So
the game
indeed,
clock will start on the snap.
Call on the field stand.
And the key is, too, when they look here, is the back foot. When he first got control of the ball, the back foot was still on the ground. So really, when you talked about this step here, that's the third step, and that's why it was confirmed still as a catch. And then the question is, could you tell exactly where the ball is? I say good for New York, staying with the call on field.
But Mike, should they spot the ball closer? They're one right now.
They moved it closer, Tony. They had it before, just as you said. And Atlanta will go heavy set here, guys.
Out of the I formation, Patrick DeMarco with the football and denied the goal line is DeMarco. The Atlanta Falcons getting very cute, if you will. Everybody feeling that Freeman's going to get it. And Woodyard delivers blow on DeMarco, 4th and goal.
Yeah, they hand it to the up back, and I've never been a huge fan of the lead back getting it. I always want the lead back there to block for the guy behind him. Let's see if they come back with the same power and hand it off to the tailback.
4th down and goal. And they give it, no, they're going to throw it. Ryan looking around. And is it intercepted or is it a touchdown? It is intercepted. Unbelievable. The ball was tipped. It looked like Tanny had it. And then wrestling in Williamson. And he comes away with a football.
And it was tipped by Marquestin Huff, number 28. Watching the end zone, the play he makes on the football. Huff is with Tammy the whole way. Does everything but intercept it. And then Tammy has a chance to haul it in. But Avery Williamson, as you noted, comes in and fights for the football and takes it away from Tammy and gets the interception that kills the drive.
Well, I don't know about you, Charles Davis.
I would have thought, listen, it's two ways. If you hand it off inside and run your power with Freeman, you understand why. To me, if you're going to go there, I use movement skills of Matt Ryan that you've added, and I'm faking it and I'm approaching the corner to give me a little more of a run-pass option. That's just me.
Guys get paid a lot on you to make decisions, and they're never easy decisions.
No, they are not.
But every team has strengths, and every team has weaknesses. So here we go, a fighting chase now for Tennessee, and on first down, a completion to Fasano. He is up to the 27-yard line. It's a nice pick on first down. A field goal away from a tie. A touchdown from taking the lead. A long way to go. 6-10 and counting, and the Titans have 3 timeouts remaining.
This is the type of game that Tennessee's had trouble getting over the hump in. Tight ball games late, chances to get it done. They haven't been able to do it. This is another opportunity for them to start to change the narrative of their season.
Run around and hand it off, and that is enough for a first down to Antonio Andrews. Let's go for a great game break back to Los Angeles.
Guys, don't forget America's Game of the Week is next. Metcalf getting the star for Dallas as the Cowboys try to end the game losing streak. OBJ and the Giants. OBJ always dancing, as he told him, Michael Strahan. Giants trying a 5-game slide against their division rivals. Game next, right here on Fox.
Be a heck of a ball game there. Another one in a battle in the NFC East. Who's going to take charge of that vision? That's what everybody's trying to figure out.
Cowboys have not won a game since Tony Romo was hurt. They moved from Whedon to Castle today. Loose ball. And did Mettenberger cover it up? It looked like a good snap. He just dropped the ball.
My guess is he was already looking downfield on the snap. Let's take a look. It was a good snap, just didn't handle it.
You know, and it's been one play on these drives here in the second half for Tennessee, whether it's a sack, whether it's been a pair of penalties, that has taken a drive from, you know, maybe a good first down play here to starting to get a first down, to begin the drive, and then all of a sudden you're staring down the barrel, 2nd and 15, 3rd and 20.
See Marcus Mariota on the sidelines, probably trying to put himself in that situation mentally.
Mettenberger. And that one should have been intercepted. That was wobbly coming out of Mettenberger's hands. And Ricardo Allen, the one-time corner turned safety, nearly picked it off.
And he can thank Adrian Claiborne for that pass, I believe, number 99 for Atlanta. I think his pressure caused the accuracy there. Look at the interior of the line. Claiborne's moved inside in their nickel package. Taylor Lewan held him there and got away with it.
And again, here on a 3rd and long, Atlanta with 7 players basically at the first down mark. And they'll swarm to McCluster as he is slammed down to the 31-yard line. So again, it was that penalty that put him behind the 8 ball.
And
or the fumbled snap on this drive.
Exactly. As you pointed out, again, Tom, they played situational football. And Tony, when they do that, this just becomes hunt drill that we used to talk about. Running at proper angles to the football after they throw it short. And they got 3-4 guys buzzing to a guy. No way he should break through that main tackle to get a first down.
Yeah, the most important thing is make sure you get a pass rush on it, because if they have too much, flags are flying everywhere, guys.
I cannot believe Beasley. He's going to get caught with 12 men on the field. Basically, the rookie Beasley was jogging off the field, and you saw the special teams captain saying, snap the ball, we're going to catch him with 20 men on the field.
Okay, here's Beasley, number 44 in white. Not exactly busting it off the field, is he? I mean, in that situation, you've got to bring it to get to the sideline to help your ball club out.
And we'll see how this changes.
Too many players on the defense, 4 players on the field. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains the down.
Okay, now you're at 3:35 left. You have all 3 timeouts left. They're sending Mettenberger out. I'm starting to ask the question, Charles. Your 4th down is going to get you to 4th and about, what, 2 or 3 here?
You have to go for it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Going to get you to 4th. And maybe 3.5. You got to just pass a 40-yard line, and they have the ball spotted. The nose up right on the 37.
I like the move by Ken Wisenhunt. 1-4 team. They battled hard all game long. Let's give them an opportunity. You know, Atlanta presents you a chance. See if you can follow up on it.
All right, here we go.
Dorial Green-Beckham hasn't caught a ball all game, but his size might be a factor here on this play. He's lined up in the slot.
And does Atlanta gamble and bring a house?
I'd put the pressure on him.
Absolutely.
Throw, underthrown to Hunter. And Atlanta gets a football. Not even sure if he catches it. They get to the first down.
Key 4th down. Atlanta's playing man-free. Free safety in the middle, everyone else in man-to-man. Watch the middle of the field, because there are places that are open, but those aren't the routes there for Tennessee. They try and go to Justin Hunter on the out. A little bit of pressure. Mettenberger gets rid of it too low and outside. On the backside, Kendall Wright thought that he was wide open, and even Hunter catches the ball. Tom, as you pointed out, Alford's on the play. I don't think he gets the first down.
And they're trying to seal the game on this drive in Atlanta. Although plenty of chances to stop the clock for Tennessee. Timeouts left.
Watch on the backside. Kendall Wright running his route. But that takes a little bit of time. You know, and it's going to be a lot longer throw. I know he's upset and wants the ball. But how excited is Dan Quinn about his defense getting off the field?
So a timeout is spent by Tennessee. The Titans have 2 left. Still only a 3-point game now. The second down and 9 coming up. Arthur Blank hoping his franchise can pick up its 6th win in the first 7 games of the year.
Rain's coming down pretty good too now, guys.
It's all about the balls. What Dan Quinn preaches. That's what he's telling his running backs right now. Squeeze the ball.
Coming on that line of scrimmage. They hand it to Freeman. Cuts it back. That's a nice play right there made by Daquan Jones. Another timeout. 3:20 left in a 3rd down and 9. Freeman in 5 starts now. 4 times eclipses 100 rushing yards. Mettenberger starting in place of the injured Marcus Mariota. Through the touchdown pass, the final minutes of the opening half.
How about the last drive for the Atlanta Falcons? This is how it ended. They got down inside the 1-yard line, 4th and inside of the yard. They faked the run, throw the pass, interception by Bree Williamson that gave Tennessee a chance.
Critical 3rd down for this Tennessee defense, and Ryan, with bodies draped all over him, delivers a pass to the 30. Denied the first down is Julio Jones.
How about this play by Matt Ryan? We don't talk about him being like Ben Roethlisberger, where people bounce off, but look at strength, able to keep his feet. Even though Zach Brown is down there making a play, Matt Ryan, look how he gets the 1 foot out, anchors himself, and is able to complete a pass. That's a big-time play by Matt Ryan to give Atlanta a shot.
All right, we have a 47-yard field goal try now. Coming up by Bryant. 47 is his season long. Snap, hold, missed it wide right, and the Titans have a fighting chance. This Atlanta offense on back-to-back drives with a chance to close out the game just cannot get it done.
Exactly what Coach Wisenhunt talked about at halftime. When we have our opportunities, we got to capitalize. We didn't do it in the first half, but they're getting it done here. And same thing on their side of the ball. They need to go and capitalize when they have opportunities, and they didn't, just like you said, Tom.
Right now, the game has been put into the hands of both teams' defenses. And Tennessee has risen to the challenge a few times here. Now late, can Atlanta do it again themselves?
Well, after that miss, you try from that far away. If you miss, the other team's going to get good field position. So starting from the 37-yard line, the Titans have 1 timeout plus a 2-minute warning. Mettenberger steps out of trouble, and the catch is made by Wright to the 41-yard line. Clock will continue to run. They'll try and get in at least 1 more play before the 2-minute warning, although nobody appears to be in a big hurry.
And what you saw at the end of the play, the tackle by Trufant, that's going to be vital for Atlanta here. Give up a missed tackle and a big win after a catch.
Mettenberger crossing pattern, catch made by Delaney Walker. He crosses midfield to the Atlanta 48-yard line, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. Remember, it's field goal away from a tie game. Ryan Succop, career long 54. That was back in 2011. His long from last year, 51 yards. Long this season, only 41. He's only tried 1 field goal beyond 3 yards. Mettenberger on first down, and again Delaney Walker. And he's able to pick up extra 3 yards up to the catch at the 42-yard line. We're down to a minute 45. The Titans have 1 timeout left. There is a rain falling, and red line is where roughly they would need to get for it
So Therizi's back here, number 27 in white. Reads the eyes of Mettenberger and just really plays zone there. Because the receiver crosses in behind him, but he's just reading the eyes of Mettenberger and going to the football. And he comes up with the biggest play of his young career, an undrafted free agent out of Auburn. He started the last couple of weeks at free safety for a banged-up Ricardo Allen. They got him back out of the lineup this week because they felt like the communication was lacking in the back end because he's a rookie. They thought that Allen gave them more of that, but what a play he came up with for the Atlanta Falcons.
Mettenberger making his first start of this season. He made 6 of them a year ago. He's still looking for his first NFL win as an NFL quarterback. Now you go back to that the final offensive possession of the first half for the Tennessee Titans, when clearly there was a penalty that was missed. Ken Wisenhunt was lit on a face mask. It was a play that, if you weren't with us, was intercepted in the end zone as Tennessee was going for a 14-3 lead.
At worst, no penalties called. At worst, you probably kick a field goal there. And then Atlanta on the other end, after the interception, had their own penalty to wipe out a field goal attempt for themselves.
Going to be sending you to bonus coverage here shortly. The conclusion of a tight one going on between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. For the Falcons, first time they've beaten the old Houston Oilers / Tennessee Titans on the road, going all the way back to 1981, and the Falcons are going to go to 6-1 on the year. Carolina unbeaten will play later tonight at home against Philadelphia. And that is that. 10-7, the final score. Dan Quinn's team off to a nice start his first season as a head coach. So 27. Well, now it's 30-24 Tampa in front of the Washington Redskins. About 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in that one. We will be sending you there for bonus coverage. 10-7 is our final here, Atlanta over the Tennessee Titans.